Hi everyone, it's Gillian. Welcome to my channel, Hooked and Smitten, and another crochet stitch tutorial. To begin today's tutorial, we're going to start by putting a slip knot on our hook. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to join to the first stitch with a slip stitch to form a ring. To begin round 1, you're going to start with a beginning puff stitch, and this is going to be the same at the start of every round. To start with the beginning puff stitch, you're going to chain 3. You're going to go inside of the ring and you're going to pull up a loop 2 times. 1, 2. You have 5 loops here on your hook. You're going to wrap your hook and pull through all 5 loops. And that is your beginning puff stitch. You're now going to chain 3. And you're going to make a puff stitch inside the ring. This time you're going to pull up a loop 3 times. Always first you wrap your hook. 1, 2, and 3. And that gives you 7 loops on your hook. You're going to wrap your hook and pull through all 7 loops. And you just created your first corner for your granny square. You're going to chain 1, and this is going to be a repeat for this round. You're going to make a puff stitch, pulling up a loop 3 times. Pull through all loops, chain 3, make another puff stitch, pull through all loops, and you just created your second corner. You're going to start your repeat again by chaining 1 and making a puff stitch. Chain 3, puff stitch into the ring, and you've now created 3 corners. You're going to start your repeat by chaining 1 and making a puff stitch. Chain 3, make another puff stitch, at the end of the round you're going to make a chain 1 and you're going to make a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And at the end of round 1 you should have created 4 corners and you should have 8 puff stitch. For round 2 you're going to start by making a slip stitch into the next stitch, a slip stitch into the chain 3, and you're going to start your beginning puff stitch by chaining 3 and go into the loop, into the ring and pull up a loop 2 times. First wrap your hook, 1, 2, pull all loops off your hook, chain 3 to create your corner and make another puff stitch. This time you pull up a loop 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. and pull all loops off your hook. You're now going to chain 2, and this is going to be your repeat for round 2. Into the chain 1 space, you're going to make 3 double crochets, and you got to be careful not to go into the puff stitch. Chain 2, and you're going to make another corner into the chain 3, which is a puff stitch, pulling up a loop 3 times, chain 3, and another puff stitch into the same space. You're going to start your repeat again by chaining 2, and into the chain 1 space you're going to make 3 double crochets. Chain 2, make another corner, puff stitch, chain 3, and another puff stitch into the same stitch. Chain 2, and 3 double crochets into the chain 1 space, chain 2, and make another corner, puff stitch, chain 3, and another puff stitch into the same space. At the end of round 2, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to make 3 double crochets into the chain 1, chain 2, and you're going to make a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And that is the end of round 2. For round 3, you're going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch, a slip stitch into the chain 3. You're going to start your beginning puff by making 3, chaining 3, wrapping your hook and pulling up a loop 2 times. Chain 3, and make a puff stitch into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to chain 2, and this is the start of the repeat for this round. Into the chain 2 space, you're going to make 2 double crochets. You're going to make 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. And you come to another chain 2 space, you're going to make 2 double crochets. You're going to chain 2, and you're going to make your corner puff stitch, your corner stitch, which is a puff stitch, chain 3, and another puff stitch into the same space. And you're going to start your repeat again by chaining 2, making 2 double crochets into the chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, and you're going to continue with this sequence of stitches, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. At the end of round 3, you're going to make a chain 2, and you're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And that is the end of round 3. For round 4, you're going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch, a slip stitch into the chain 3, chain 3, go into the space and pull up a loop 2 times, chain 3, and make a puff stitch into the same space. You're going to chain 2, and this will be the start of your repeat. Into the chain 2 space, you're going to make 2 double crochets. You're going to make 1 double crochet into the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, and 7, and that brings you to the next chain 2 space, and you're going to make 2 double crochets. Chain 2, and you're going to make your corner stitch, puff stitch, chain 3, and another puff stitch into the same space. You're going to start your repeat again by chaining 2, making 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, and 1 double crochet into the next 7 stitches. You're going to continue with this sequence of stitches, and I will meet you at the end of the round. At the end of the round, chain 2 and make a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And that is the end of round 4. For round 5, you're going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch, a slip stitch into the chain 3, chain 3, and go into the loop twice, pull up a loop twice, just like you've been doing at the start of every round, chain 3, and make a puff stitch into the same space. You're going to chain 2, and this will be the start of the repeat. Into the chain 2 space, you're going to make 2 double crochets. You're going to make 1 double crochet into the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 11. Into the chain 2 space, you're going to make 2 double crochets. Chain 2, and you're going to make your corner stitch, which is a puff stitch, chain 3, and another puff stitch into the same space. You're going to start your repeat again by chaining 2, making 2 double crochets into the chain 2, and 1 double crochet into the next 9 stitches. 11 stitches, not 9, 11. You're going to continue with this sequence of stitches, and I will meet you at the end of the round. At the end of the round, you make a chain 2 and you slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And you'll make a chain and then you'll fasten off. At this point, I'm going to stop at round 5, but as you see with this square, you can just keep going and make it as big as you want it to be. Just keep adding. Every round, you'll just be adding to the double crochet rows. If you like this video, please give it a like, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you for visiting, and I'll see you in the next video.